to get a news update, my brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. If you eat Kepa, gradually, my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Kuwa. Bese kuwa, kudileo. Kuwa, kudileo.
Tunto Spoon. To get your information. Tunto Spoon. To be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stan Tony with the Spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Tunto Spoon. To get your information. Tunto Spoon. To be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just Tunto Spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just Tunto Spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. If you eat Kepa, gradually, my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment, Spoon Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment. Tons of spoon to get your information. Tons of spoon.
Okay, so turn to Spoon, Spoon FM, Spoon Radio, Spoon Television. This is where you get the news. This is where you get authentic information, objective analysis on the unfoldings in the country. I'd like to say welcome to all of you across Liberia. Thanks for joining us again on another edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We want to say thanks to all of you across Liberia for joining us tonight. We're live across the Spoon Network, Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and Super 95.5 FM. Many thanks to the partner radio stations across Liberia as well that are relaying the program. We want to welcome all of you. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Nelson Colette, and we're going to bring in the rest of the team. It's going to be a great show, fascinating discussion tonight. Kindly share the program as you join us as we get set to take you through another edition of the program here tonight. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Just before bringing you some of the updates, let me go to the comment section and recognize a few of you joining in here tonight from the comment section. I see Amos T is here tonight. Thanks for joining us, Amos. He says, good evening. I see Worthy Benda has joined us. We appreciate you this morning for joining us. He says, it's true. It's true that the yellow machine JMB talked about the other day are in the country. Okay, so you're asking a question. Is it true? I see Abraham Way is here as well. Thanks for joining us. You said you're joining from Ominga. Moses Momolu is here. Moses Momolu is here as well. Sorry, guys. Let me just make a very quick adjustment. Moses Momolu, thanks for joining us. I see Jonathan Pratt is here. Darlington Masakwe has joined us tonight. Thanks for being here. Kindly share the program as you come on. Let me see. I see Joseph Sakol is here. Mohammed Sanon. Powon Emmanuel Alfred, thanks for joining us. Joseph Derek, we appreciate Michael Nital for joining us tonight. Thanks to all of you joining in on the late night show tonight. I see Williat Morris has joined in. Matthew Boyman is here. I see Sumo Bena and John Freeman. All of you, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's hope we can have a great show, great conversation, a lot to talk about here tonight. Liberia will certainly get better. We will keep talking about the issues, adding our voices to the different issues unfolding. So, folks, sorry I had to do that quick adjustment there. Yeah, so I want to say thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. As usual, this is where we talk about Liberia. This is where we get to talk about the issues. Leave us, Sewe. Yes, you're right. So we're here tonight. Let's bring you some of the updates quickly, and then we'll move to the rest of the show. We'll move to the rest of the show. A lot is going on in Liberia, and it's just important that we get to talk about those issues. Oh my word! Unfortunately, I didn't get to share this with the folks. So a lot is happening in the country, and we're gonna talk about the issues tonight. Let me see if I can do this as quick as possible. So we get the show moving on tonight. So I want to welcome everyone. Thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. Kindly share the program as you come on. We will appreciate if you were to share the program um, in your different group chats across the internet. So we have a great conversation here tonight. All right. So let me. Okay, so I think it's all set now. So okay, so let's go ahead and bring you some of the updates. What are the happenings? What are some of the issues we need to talk about? Just before moving to the actual show, a few things just to update you with quickly. The first one has to do with the pronouncement about the president's asset. So the first one has to do with the president's asset declaration. Well, it was declared today. Some of you have already seen the document. Different components of that document. He has authorized the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission (LECC) to go ahead and publish the asset. So it means that anyone across Liberia can now have access to the president's asset that was declared. It is now going to be published. Without going through that regular procedure, go to court, and all of that, you can now sit at the comfort of your home and just anywhere and have access to the president's asset that he declared. And so that is one. The next thing is that we today saw a public hearing. First of all, there was an ad hoc committee that was set up by the Senate to investigate this whole CTN and Medtech situation in the country. A lot of you are aware that Liberians, especially so the business people, have had lots of complaints about how this whole CTN and Medtech thing has been going on in the country. A lot of people think that they're being charged exorbitantly, and that the both companies are doing almost the same kind of job, and they will have to pay for the services, since in fact they are being provided by those different companies and so forth. So there has been some back and forth. The Senate decided to set up a committee, an ad hoc committee, to carry on an investigation. Well, they invited CTN. They had a lengthy hearing where CDN said that bulk of the things that's happening, almost everything in the corridor is political. Well, there is some propaganda that is ongoing to project a bad image about them, but their service is the best. Well, there were some who shared different views, talking about the senators and other government representatives of other government ministries and agencies there. And then next up was the hearing with Medtech, but Medtech up to present is yet to comply with the investigation that's ongoing at the level of the Liberian Senate, in that um, the Senate requested, in all of their communications, they requested the living body of the CEO of Medtech Dubai, and up to present, that is yet to happen. The last hearing, which was on a Monday, the CEO didn't appear, rather sent logistics officer and that of the local manager, and then that angered the senators. They canceled the entire hearing on Monday, requesting that the CEO appeared since he wasn't in country. And today was the day set aside for the hearing. And again, the CEO didn't appear. The same manager and appear. But what he did say, the legal person, sorry, but what he did say was that the head of the institution, the CEO, is out of the country, and so there was some communication of from medical facility. But then some of the senators pointed out, like Senator DeLone, that if this communication is coming from another country, why is it not notarized? How do we establish the authenticity of the document you providing? So there was a back and forth, and Methec was asked out of the hearing today. And so there were, pieces of information that was shared from the different ministries and agencies, the PPCC, LRA, with respect to um, the level of work. In fact, what was the process like, the procurement process leading to Methec getting the contract to offer the services? What was the technical capacity of the institution? All of those issues, but it was an elaborate one, and yes, that did go on today. Most of you are aware that the senators had their retreat. Now is the representatives, the House of Representatives. Theirs is being is called a forum. They've called that a forum. It's ongoing at Farmington. Most of you are aware of that, and so it is expected that at the end of this forum, the reform forum, that there will be some transformation at the level of the House of Representatives. In fact, the theme is responsive lawmaking, proactive oversight, and people-centered representation. How is that going to be achieved? How is that going to be actualized? So that is something that Liberians are looking forward to as the legislators, especially the representatives, go for this very important, very, very important forum. Well, why this is happening? The University of Liberia is still experiencing a serious issue. Students are still not having access to the campuses of the university. Academic activities at those different campuses are on a pause, at a standstill. And what is happening now is that the faculty is re-emphasizing that they are going to continue their protest or the planned action, stay away from academic activity and everything, to ensure that the administration is changed. The administration at the University of Liberia, beginning with Dr. Julius Saulo Nelson, who is the president of the University of Liberia. And so this is the case. Well, as to whether the change of administration is going to bring about a lasting solution to the long-standing crisis at the University of Liberia, that is something that that is a question that remains unanswered. But why this is happening, students are engaged in continuous protest and calling on the government of Liberia, especially so the president of the country, to, in a swift manner, address the situation, because this is not just about this government, but you can go back to previous administrations. This is something that the government of Liberia over the years have struggled with, talking about addressing the long-standing challenges with the University of Liberia Faculty Association. Well, why this is happening, I'm trying to get something come in here for you. So that is that. And then still on the updates, there's a report from Central. We'll save that for the last. But the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, where there has been some back and forth, hula baloo, and the president even had to take some immediate actions. It's still working, even in the absence of the two principal deputies of the institution is still working. And they did an assessment or what have you, and they came to uncover, or their own assessment has revealed that drugs is still a major challenge in Liberia. Drugs is still a major challenge in the country. But if you listing the counties and trying to zoom in on the impact of narcotic substance on those different counties across the country, Montserrat County stands at number 1. Montserrat County stands at number 1. It's topping the list. It is that county where majority of the young people are falling prey to substance abuse. It's that county where drug trafficking, the sale of narcotic drugs, is on the rise. It's on the increase. And so Montserrat County tops the chart, sitting at spot number 1. And there's a need for some swift action, if you may, maybe some sort of support. Maybe the government of Liberia will have to beef up the support to the LDEA, because this is something that has to do with the future, the lives of young people across the country, the future generation of Liberia. And so they have stated that drugs is on the increase, it's on the rise, and Montserrat County is a hot zone, one of the places that needs some serious attention. Wow. Oosh. One of the counties that needs some serious attention when it comes to how the issue of drugs is fought, the level of support that should be given to ensure that some success, some gain is made with regards to this. So, something is going on, and I want to bring this in. I want to make a very quick adjustment here. So let me see if I can bring. Let me see if I can bring this in. Let me see if I can. Okay, so let's see if we can. Oh wow. Okay. So I'm going to make a very quick adjustment here. I want to make a very quick adjustment here, and we'll be right back. Let's hope we can make this very, very quick adjustment here to be back on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Let's
Again, therefore, are you eating plenty or you not eating while your stomach not get? Because I not eating because the market again buy. I get profit before I eat.
Talk to our old man here. Hello, mama. How you doing?
Hello.
Okay. So what you selling? I see you selling raw fish, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So how much you selling the raw fish for? What?
I'm selling you 250 and 200.
250 for pack.
Yeah.
Okay. So TD fish for 200.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but how the business like with you?
The business is rough. They can't buy no money. If I pay one carton, I sell it in 2 days time. Say I get in Waka government, my stomach start get even full.
Send it back. Government can your stomach get full.
My stomach can get full.
Or you eating plenty, or you not eating now your stomach not get
Because I eat it because the market again buy, I get profit before I eat. But this time the market again buy, I feeling it good human being that when I buy to come we share this small myself, my stomach can get full. But during Popo time, I used to go 6 cup of me, my children also me full. You see how I dry it, yeah, because the market can't finish. Yeah. My one side, one carton of it. I will sell it in 3 days time.
Wow. So I won't understand how much you can buy the fish here.
The market can do buying it $9,200.
How much profit you get?
And they price no good profit because they buying they no good profit. I saw they get $1,000. But the way they cutting it down,
You can spend 3,000
$9,000
or 9,000
$9,200 for the fish cartoon.
and you get 1,000.
You know 1,000 profit.
And
But
one cartoon can finish per day.
they get finished per day. I can sell it in 3 days time. The way I sell today, tomorrow I will sell it again. Day after again I will sell it again before I finish. But before I finish, the one I will be getting the one being maybe no you two cut before that two cut finish. So now I start money getting my I can't get no good profit.
So what you want the government to do so that their business can improve?
I want for our government to bring because our residents they were bringing more company for our husband and where our children. I get people boss they side of you. I got 5 good boss children for you to work, but now no way. Whole day they go in the trap program holding. They can tell us they must pay $50 a year, $100 a year before they hold it, and they don't get the money. So every day and then they walking, going on the track coming back, they can't hold them because they ain't get money daily.
So you want the government to bring more jobs so that your children they can be able to work.
The work will help us.
You think the government doing well?
To me, man, now the person in the government doing nothing for me, doing nothing. You cannot even understand it.
But I mean for the whole country, you think the government doing well for the country? Still making power?
Maybe those when people get it, I'm not thinking, but man, I'm not thinking you don't doing nothing for me. You don't doing well for me because I enjoy anything. Woman, when a person eating 2 cups right now, what are you doing for them? Nothing you do for me. I enjoy nothing. Yes.
Okay. Any final thing you want to say to your God?
The nothing I gotta say now. You say you are going to bring joy, then you bring joy, then our children are away. Me, my husband are old person, but I get people bossing. I get 30-year-old boy, I get 22-year-old, I get 24-year-old. Then they work for me to enjoy. So I ain't nothing, but now I in the government, I enjoy nothing there.
Okay.
Say the government I can't ever tag me, my age children will eat 2 cups of rubber, so they can get full.
The president watching you now and he's looking at you,
Yeah.
so you want for him to bring jobs.
Yeah, now you bring work. So being for your children, they work. When they be work, when work in the country, even other people they want to be working, they will be able to buy. But yeah, me and my work side, one country of it for 3 days time. So it's difficult for me now. I can't get no profit. I just say now because I can say now when I can't get money for. So now the government do something good for us.
Okay, thank you for talking to Spoon TV, man.
All right, man.
Okay, so yes, folks, thanks for being here with us. We had to make a very quick adjustment right here to be back. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Now, most times you go out to talk to people, these are the kinds of responses you will get. I'm going to go to the remaining updates. I was just trying to put some stuff together here. But most times you talk to people out there, these are some of the kinds of responses you will get. Well, if you went in the market to talk to the business people, they will tell you that, oh, business is hard. Things are tough. Things are rough. In fact, no business again. People are not buying again. And so the government need to do something, but things not fine. And in some cases, people will tie it to the performance of the government. Now, I remember vividly there was one interview we did. There was one interview we did when Senator Sir Joseph went to do the donation, and at the end of the day, that interview was all around the place. When people had a very strong opinion, or they have some strong views that they express with respect to what the performance of the government is like. But in the midst of everything that's happening, there are some who hold on to the view that maybe the things are this way, and we're getting these kinds of responses from some of the people we talk to based on the fact that this administration is still new. The government is still coming into power, and they still have to put their house in order. And so, because of that, these issues are popping up. But like you heard from that lady in that interview in Grand Bassa County about 2 weeks ago, this is what a lot of Liberians will say. This is what a lot of people are saying even now as we speak. This is the view. This is the opinion. This is the position of hundreds, if not thousands, of Liberians across the country. Beyond the politics, this is just what a lot of Liberians across the country have to express as their views on the unfoldings in the country. Well, today the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, CENTAL, released a report. So the report was actually launched on the 20th. The report was released to the public today. It is the institution's 100 days assessment report of the earliest day of the Unity Party administration. The 100 days assessment of the earliest day of the Unity Party administration. So we want to take up time to go through this. We want to take a look at some of the key areas of concentration under this particular report. What are their assessment of this administration? The last time we saw a report coming up, it was with the how do you call it? With the with NEMBO. NEMBO came up with her own report, and it was interesting how they went on to do to carry on some grading with the government of Liberia, their own rating of the government. They came up with more or less a scorecard for the government in different areas. In some areas, the government did well. In some areas, the government did not do well. And that was the case with the NEMBO report. But what exactly do we have here? What is it that is contained in this report? So, the first thing is that this report, as I said, captured the first 100 days, is an assessment of what the government has been doing. And the report captured mixed performances and development of this government. According to the report, there have been some positive developments, while there are some major issues to address if the government must succeed in delivering for the people and breaking away from the business as usual. And so they came up with a few findings and recommendations. So the first thing before going to the findings is that they are saying that a 6 years government cannot be entirely graded by its first 100 days in office. However, they believe that it can be used. The first 100 days in office can be used to initiate groundbreaking actions and building a solid foundation for improved accountability and performance. So they have findings they came up with. Is a voluminous one here. So let me see if I can have just a few portions captured from here, and then we can move in with the rest of it. Let me get just a portion captured here, and then we can move in with the rest of it. I really thought to have it posted on the screen as well so that you can see it. Let me hope I can do just that. Let's hope we can do this. Okay. So let's go to the findings. So the first thing they captured here is that they said their findings on the government. No, I want to put this thing. Let me share it in a way. But then again, it's a bit difficult. So let me do a screenshot of this because I want you to see what we are talking about as we get to talk about these issues. Okay. So I think I got this, and let me get it up here as we get ready to start the show. But I want to welcome all of you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for being a part of the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. You can share the show as you come on tonight, because it's going to be a great edition of the late night show tonight. Okay, so we have this one here. So now we can get these slides in here for you, and then we can kick off the rest of the show from here. Okay, so let's get this, and then we take on the rest of the show from here. Okay, so this one, and then we're going to take. Okay, so we get this one. Okay, so let's go through the first one we have here. I don't know if this one is going through. Okay, so this one is here. It should be here as well. Okay, so let's see if we can get this one. Okay, so we have both slides in, and then we can take off from here. Okay, so let's do this one. So these are the findings. This is what they came up with. I just thought to have it up while we go through it. So they're saying that appointments under the first 100 days are were characterized by delays, controversies, and limited transparency. This is what this group is saying. Now, CENTAR is the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. This group is the local chapter of Transparency International, an organization, an internationally recognized organization that is championing the cause for transparency and the fight against corruption globally. And that's why they come up with a global with a scorecard globally for countries around the world, highlighting the level of fight towards the fight against transparency, the fight towards transparency, the fight against corruption, and all of that. So they're saying that as part of their first 100 days assessment of the government, they have observed that appointments were characterized by delays, controversies, and limited transparency. So it took a long time for appointments to be made. There were controversies and back and forth relative to the appointments that were made, and there were limited transparency as to how those appointments were made. Okay? So they said there were noticeable delays in appointments, nominations, noticeable delay in appointments. Nominations to most positions took place over a 3-month period following inauguration, and in some cases were spaced apart by a week. Some appointments were not publicized. There was also a lack of transparency regarding appointments revoked by the president, thus undermining public's right to know. Of the 1,306 appointments, 38 of those appointments were affected by controversies. So out of the 1,306 individuals who were appointed in the first 100 days, this group is saying that 38 of those appointments were affected by controversies. And of this number, 13 concerned appointments that were changed, while 25 were made ineffective by revocation, resignation, court proceedings, and others, blah, blah, blah. So we move to the next point here because we have other issues to go to. The other portion here says, some appointments have negative integrity records. Some appointees, have negative integrity records. So these are the things they said they observed in the first 100 days. Some of the people who were appointed So some appointees are returning to public service despite a check history in government. These include Chairman of the Liberia Maritime Authority, Tonla Vapla, designated by the National Legislature to let me go back a little to the next slide. I think that's where we have the other portion of this. But I see Amy is here. Amy is going to join us. Amy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. And I'm going to come to you shortly to do your opening. But what we have right now on the screen here is I was just trying to go through the 100. Emmy, your background, I'm getting some real feedback. I don't know whether it's your gadget or something. So I'm going through the Centad.
Is it better now?
Yeah, somehow. So I'm going through Centad's 100 days assessment report of the government of Liberia. That's the first slide I just took off. of course, the aspect that has to do with delay appointment. So these are the findings. This is just a summary. These are the findings. It talks about delayed appointments were characterized by delayed controversies, limited transparency, and some appointees have negative integrity records. They went on to mention one of the appointees there. And then you come up to another one. I just want us to flip through this quickly because we have other issues to go to. And then the next aspect of the findings. This one says appointments were characterized by nepotism. And this portion of their report, they're saying that the president has so far appointed immediate family members. Nonetheless, the president appointed Jacob T. Kabakoli, an influential nephew, as chairman of the board of the Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority. And Sentai is saying that the fund nepotism regarding appointment of family members of political or of public officials, particularly those appointed by the president and tasked with responsibility to select nominees. So in some cases, not the president, but some of the people he appointed already, or those people who are already in government, they too went ahead and appointed family members. And in this case, they are citing Sirleaf Tyler, the transport minister. They are saying that he's the brother to Senator Alex Tyler. He was appointed as Minister of Transport, and so on. So there's a whole list of the individuals, the names, the different positions, and everything. You see a whole listing right here in this segment of their findings. So, I mean, this is important, and we thought to bring this out to highlight this because we've highlighted almost everything. There was this report from NEBOT, their own assessment of the administration, and we did that. But we have a lot to capture here. We don't have the luxury of time to go through everything. But so far, these are a few of the issues that they are highlighting in their report here. Delayed appointment, marred by controversies, and they're talking about nepotism. In some cases, they're talking about allegation of corruption in the first 100 days. And in this case, they're citing the request from NASCOP, and all of that, as you see here, for the SUV value at $117K. They're talking about action not matching anti-corruption commitment by the president in the first 100 days. They think that the actions that the president is taking at this point is not matching the anti-corruption commitment he made during the early stage of the administration or when he was about to take over. And they are recommending a more robust, timely, and inclusive action and efforts in dealing with corruption and other core governance, transparency, and accountability issues, and a lot they're talking about here. But I mean, I want you to do your opening, and we can just move into the conversation here tonight.
Thank you, Nelson. Good evening. Good evening to our viewers. And I know it's a little late to go through the list, but I just wanted to highlight a congratulatory message to Miss Massa, Queen of her Queendom. Her baby girl graduated today from kindergarten, and she says she's a proud mama. So congratulations, mama. Tell your baby girl congrats. But yeah, Nelson, from the report, from what you just read, everything is about right. these are stuff that we always talked about, right? The delay and some of the controversy and stuff. But the only thing I have problem with though is the nepotism part of it,
Mhm.
because some of the things that have been, I don't know who is being accused of nepotism, if it's the president or whatever, because I don't. The last time we came on this show, we read the Constitution, right, about what was considered as nepotism.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we'll get into that later. But I think,
And the very alignment with the code of conduct. But
right,
with respect to the question you just asked, I want to put this slide up, this particular portion back, and the font size might be smaller based on the gadget you're using. I don't know if you're using your computer or phone,
yeah, I
but
can see it.
this is where it talks about nepotism. All right, and they citing the instance of the appointment made by the president of Jacob Kabakoli, right? They're saying
Mhm.
that he's an influential nephew of the president. He was appointed as chairman of the board of the Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority, the LPRA. They said that's what they found out in the first 100 days of the administration. They're citing the situation with the transport minister. His brother is Senator Ellis Tyler. You know, he was part of the rescue mission and fought to get the government elected and all of that. He pledged his support. He's now transport minister. So Senator is saying that this is nepotism. Now
Yeah.
you go to the other aspect. Who else are they citing here? Okay, so they're citing Mrs. Nesse Moy, the wife of Senator Moy, our own dear senator. Senator is saying that she was named a member of the board of the Liberia Petroleum Refinery Company, the LPRC. And you can go on to, oh, wow. Okay, so they also cited Deborah E. Johnson, who is the daughter of
Babla?
Senator Prince Johnson. No, the daughter
Oh,
of Senator Prince Johnson. Senta is saying that they did their fact finding, they did their investigation. It has revealed that the daughter of Senator Prince Johnson was appointed as Assistant Minister for Regional Labor Affairs. Then you go to Senator Daba Vapla. Senta is saying that they did their investigation and everything. Under the nepotism segment of their report, their findings reveal that the husband of the senator, Mr. Tonola Vapla, was appointed as chairman of the board of the Liberia Maritime Authority.
okay.
You know, and the list goes on. There's a whole long
Right.
list. We're talking about some 75
Exactly.
ministries, agencies, and commissions of government that were being where this whole nepotism thing is taking place. But go ahead, Emmy. You want to take on from here?
Yeah. And let me just finish this one before I get on this. I read a post today from someone in the chat that what LTA
Yeah.
are refusing Liberian dollars. Right? They are asking when people go to do whatever is done, that they're asking for US dollar instead of the Liberian dollar. And then but they keep printing the money and refusing it. And I was a little confused about that, right? If people are refusing Liberian dollars, she would be government agencies doing that. Shouldn't they be the ones mandating people to accept the money from the innocent people, the poor people? Instead, they should be the one refusing it as well, asking for another country currency. I just thought that was a little weird to me, so I thought to bring it out. But back on this whole appointing thing, that's what I said, Nelson. The whole nepotism part of it is where I differ from that, because just because Tyler is a senator doesn't mean Tyler brother cannot work in another part of the government. That is not nepotism. Or because Senator Debla oh, no, I hope I don't say her name.
Vapla, yeah.
Babla is a senator, so her husband, if he's qualified, he cannot work somewhere else. I don't see that to be nepotism. I think we said this before. Someone brought it up about Prince Moi's wife, and that the person that appointed her, and it was nepotism. I said no, it wasn't. And we read the code of conduct, what the Constitution said about that. So I think I would disagree with them on that one. Where everything else, yeah, But the nepotism part, I don't know if you can get to that.
Okay.
Something again that we will read there, but some of the stuff that they call it nepotism.
Nepotism.
That's-
But
yeah,
this is important, and maybe we should go back to that particular slide we had when we discussed this whole nepotism thing, because
exactly.
this is a very strong point that Santa is coming up with. They're
And
not just
read the code read what the Constitution said about that
yeah.
instead of someone just
So this time around, Santa is not just coming for Senator Tyler, for example, Senator Vapla, or Senator Moy, but they're even going for the president. They said the head of the LPRA is his nephew. But Emmy, you're aware that, and I'm doing this because I'm trying to get this slides up. You are aware that the president did make a statement that he will not at any point in time appoint any of his family members or get involved with anything that has to do with nepotism. But again, what is the actual definition of this nepotism?
exactly.
Is it when you are working in government and so automatically it means that none of your family member, your child, your nieces, your nephews, your husband or wife, even if they have the best of education, is it that those people should not work?
How possible is that, Nelson? When right now we're all the only employers or the higher employer in the country is government, right? I only have problem with that if the person is not qualified and they got the job because their uncle was some kind of senator or minister somewhere else. Yeah, then that's a problem, and leave another qualified librarian and give it to them. But because somebody uncles is a senator or wife is a senator or husband is a senator, so what? So they can't work at LTA when they hire them, that then it's nepotism? No. If Prince Moy was going to hire his wife in his office, you can classify it as that. Okay? Or if the senator from Grand Cayman, Grand Cayman, I'll just stop there and not say her name. If she was gonna hire her, appoint her husband in her office, you can call it that. With the president, there's a definition that in the Constitution of that nepotism. So I don't agree with what they're saying.
But again, Emmy, will you look at it from an angle where you may not be the one making the decision, but you could be that person who influences the decision?
And nothing's wrong with that.
Okay.
It's happening all over the world. Everybody is who you know now. It's not about so much of because you have so many people that have Nelson is a smart guy. He's a good a radio person that. But what if somebody else is there, and you have a uncle that knows that the hiring manager, you press button for you. What's wrong with that? You're qualified, right?
Okay, so I want to put this slide up, and this is very important. Let me put this one up. This is exactly the portion of the code of conduct. But first thing, one thing we should take into consideration is that the people who are coming up with this report are very big on transparency, anti-corruption practices. They are very big on it. They are more concerned about that. So let's take these slides for example. Where do we have this one? Okay, up there 1.3.16, where you have nepotism, right? It says when a public official employs, promote, or recommend, this is the code of conduct, for advancement, family members in any agency of government or branch of government in which he or she works.
Yeah.
When a public official appoints,
Mm-hmm.
employs, promote, or recommend for advancement, family member in any of government or branch of government in which he or she works.
You hear that, Nelson?
That's where the code of conduct comes from, with this whole nepotism thing.
You hear that? That's
So
exactly
can
what
we,
I said.
can we relate it to what Senta is saying?
Senta is in error from what we're reading.
Okay.
For
How so?
coming to when it comes to Prince Moyi, they come to Prince Johnson, they come to they send to Deborah Vabla, all this, they're in error because you just read it in the in the same department, in the same area that they work. They say in other areas of every other part
But
of
again,
the
in
government.
government, it may not be in the same, maybe in the same branch of government, in the same agency, but it
Okay,
says
read it again, Nelson.
in any agency of government or branch of government in which he or she works.
You hear that? In which he or she works. Does Deborah Vabla work? Where is her husband?
He's in the executive.
Okay, so is she someone who works in the executive or she's a senator? So it's not the same. From my
Wow.
understanding, maybe I could be wrong or whatever, but from what I'm understanding from your reading, because I can't see it, that's not
Okay.
an nepotism.
So let's go to the other aspect where they talked about delay appointments, and they are saying that in the first 100 days of the assessment of this government, one of the areas, some of their findings that there were the appointments were characterized by delay, number one, number two, controversies, and number three, limited transparency. You know that there's something we're driving at, and we're going to end up somewhere. But I want us to zero in on this.
Mhm.
Delayed appointments. The appointments were characterized by delay,
True.
controversies, and limited transparency. Now let's talk about that a little.
Okay, so I don't know about the
Is there
limited.
anything to agree with Sentai here with
Yes.
the three issues they outline as part of their findings for the first 100 days of this administration?
Yes,
with
I
respect
do
to
agree.
appointments?
I do agree with them with the delay in appointments. We were all frustrated about it, and I do also agree with them with the controversy and all of that. It was a lot. We heard going to court, coming back, and all of that. But the limited transparency, they said, I'm not really sure about that either. So, but those two, I strongly agree with them.
Okay, but in any given case, is it something to maybe want to drag this administration down by, especially talking about delayed appointments? Were there genuine reasons for those delayed appointments, or the appointments being characterized by delays and all of that?
Okay, so I don't know why Sentai may want to make that a big deal to write about. I mean, you can talk about the integrity part of it, but I don't know why they will want to write about delaying appointment. We all know that, we've seen that, but is it something that's is it a big deal to like be shining light that had already been shining on it, or to be talking about it? I don't know. Yeah, so maybe that's something they have to do. But I don't understand why they're doing it. So I'm not really going to go into that because is not really something that affecting the country. At the time, maybe it was because everybody was anxious. We want to see the government running,
at the end of the day, it's they're also keen on the issue of performance. I mean, they are equally looking at performance. Yes, it may not be something that are taking a lot away, but they're looking at performance. And since they are
Okay.
trying to evaluate the government, her performance in the first 100 days, assessment, a monitoring report of the of this administration. So maybe they want to look at that.
Okay,
How
so
the administration has handled the issue of of appointment in the first 100 days.
then I understand it, because if you're talking about the performance, I guess you have to go over everything that you had problem with. So yeah, then maybe I understand it now. But I thought it was supposed to be something that, how like certain areas in the government you'll want to point out corruption and bring it to the public and do that. So that's why I was confused about that. But yeah, if like what you said, yeah, then maybe that was necessary to do.
Okay. So there's another component of this thing, and maybe we will zero in here. There's a whole lot to pick up from here. I don't have the means now to get this slide up, but it's talking about still on this appointment and stuff like that. It says over the 75 agencies, 75 ministries, of the 75 ministries, agencies and commissions of government to which heads were appointed. It says Centard investigated and identified the counties from which 70 heads of those entities hail from, more than half, which is 57% of those appointed to head those ministries, agencies, and commissions are from North Central region, comprising Lofa, Bunk, and Nimba counties. Majority of those appointed supported his presidential bid. Now they're talking about the president. Those suspected of supporting opposition parties have been denied appointment.
They have been denied
appointment. This is what Centard is reporting about the government in the first 100 days.
Okay, so when you say someone is denied appointment, if you have two qualified individuals and that apply for a position, right? You vet them and you take the most qualified ones. So if it happens to happen here in Liberia that the ones that you took were most qualified is from your party, then it's a problem. Which I see where they're coming from with that, but let's be honest, Nelson, right? And everybody that watching and listening. Nelson supported me to be pepper selling lady, the association for pepper selling, right? The chairman, right? Or chair lady, whatever you can call it. So
Charles, welcome to the show.
And then Charles, on the other hand, was opposed to me winning that position, right? And then trying to employ somebody somewhere. Nelson and Charles both are qualified, right? Who do you think I'm gonna hire? You think because I don't want Vasco to make noise in my ears, so let me leave Nelson and hire Charles? You think that's how it's gonna work? I mean, it's just common sense. Unless Nelson is not qualified and Charles is, and I left Charles and hired Nelson, that should be a problem, right? But if they both have the same qualification, I'm definitely going for Nelson. I'm not going for Charles, who wanted to kill me, who said I'm not doing it, or she's not this one. It's just a common thing that anybody in any part of the world would do. Okay, the only time it's a problem is because no, she hired Nelson because Nelson wasn't qualified. Nelson is not qualified, but because Nelson supported her, so she hired Nelson. So that's a bad thing, which I will agree with. But for here, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Okay. You know, and I know, and I know that we're getting to the point gradually where there will be some there will be some agreements.
Oh,
And
of
then
course.
we stay at the point, you know, and we stay at the point in this report where there are lots of disagreements. We'll come to the area where there will be agreements, right? But let me welcome Charles to the show. Vasco, welcome to the show as well. And yes, we are going through. You know, we just try to peep into this Centad report, a monitoring and assessment report of this government 100 days, the early stage of this government, 100 days in power. They've released a report on the government. Now, part of what they're saying is that, yeah, my phone just died. I would have, forwarded this entire thing here. But part of what they're saying is that, number one, and since the both of you just joined in, you will go back a little on it. You just take 2 minutes each on it. But part of what they're saying is that, number one, appointments in the first 100 days, what they've realized is that the appointments were characterized by delayed controversies and limited transparency. So, and they went on to give different aspects of it, that of the 1,306 appointments that were made, 38 of those appointed were affected by controversies. That's the other aspect of it. And so another thing they're saying is that some appointees have negative integrity records, and they went on to state a few names here under that component of the report. You can look at that, but then let's go to the final slide here. This one, they are saying at this end that appointments were characterized by nepotism. They're accusing the president of appointing his nephew, an influential nephew, as the chairman of the board of the Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority. And they're saying not just the president, but some of those behind the president. So they're accusing Senator Tyler of being involved with the appointment of his brother, Mr. Sirleaf Tyler, as transport minister. They're accusing Senator Moy. They're accusing Senator Prince Johnson because he was one of those at the forefront of the rescue mission. They said his daughter was appointed as well at the LPRC. Deborah E. Johnson, daughter of Senator Prince Johnson, was appointed assistant minister. Sorry, not LPRC, but as assistant minister for regional labor. They are accusing Senator Daba Vabla. Let me not put it that way. She is captured in their report because they said they've investigated this and these are their findings. So they are saying that Senator Daba Vabla of Grand Cape Mount County has a husband, Mr. Tonola Vabla, who was appointed as chairman of the board of the Liberia Maritime Authority. They went on to state a few other names, and these are areas where they are coming from when they talk about nepotism in the first or the early stage of this administration. You go further down, they are also talking about ministries and agencies, 75 ministries, agencies, and commissions that from those different ministries, agencies, and commission, majority of the people that were appointed, about 57% of those people were from Lofa, Nimba, and Bone County. And that some of the people, and they are predominantly people who supported this administration, and that some of the people who did not support the administration are being denied jobs. Are these findings from Centad in any way realistic about this administration? Are they factual enough? Are they worth looking into? Does it present any wake-up call to this administration? I mean, let's start with Vasco, then we're gonna go to Charles.
Thank you, Nelson. Let me say hi to you guys, and hi to people who are watching us and those that are listening to us by the means of radio. So Nelson, I mean that identical report is exact, and that report is damaging for this government at this early stage of the administration, and everything that was said in that report. That is what happened. I know other people want to spin the issue of the nepotism, that they have to be working in the same ministry and this and that. We all know that President Bouaga gave authority to some lawmakers. And we know their names: Prince Mohi, Ellis Tyler, Vabla, Senator Delon, Yombli Kanga, Senator Bocha Segbe. These are some of the names that we know of that he gave authority to for vetting process. Now, if those people that sitting on top, that authority to vet people, and now you start to see their relative and loved one surfacing in government positions, then no way you can spin it. That is nepotism. I don't want us to go look. Let's look at the war in general, the nepotism. That's why I say taking job, giving it to your relative, and this and that.
No, but again, Vasco, we have to look at this thing critically, because someone may just ask the question as to, what if the family member is qualified? This person went to school, acquired the knowledge and everything required to get the job. Should that person be denied? Should a Liberian citizen be denied only because he's related to Vasco Sumo, for example? Only because she's Senator Prince Johnson's daughter? Are you saying that even after acquiring education, she shouldn't work in her own country because she's a daughter of Senator Prince Johnson?
Nancy, then the question comes in, how was the vetting process done?
Okay, then let's go back to the very code of conduct we're just reading.
Yes, please read it for him.
Okay, so 1.3.16, it says nepotism. When a public official appoints, employs, promotes, or recommends for advancement from the members in any agency of government or branch of government in which he or she works. That's nepotism under the code of conduct. All right? So in this case, let's take, for example, okay, Senta say the president appointed his nephew, James Kapakoli. You know, they say that's part of that funny. They finished doing an investigation, that one part, the president hooked in it. But let's go to the other people now that they're talking about. Is Senator Prince Johnson appointing? Is Senator Prince Moyi appointing anybody?
No.
They talk about promotion, recommendation, and all of those other things. Well, maybe that's another discussion for another day. But Vasco, just end up quickly.
No, Nancy is going to go to that part. What is the recommendation?
It's still the same discussion. It's not for another day. It's still the same thing.
The thing is very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Those guys capture all the different things you're talking about. Those guys capture recommendation. Those guys capture they capture the president part. They capture the senator's part. I know what you guys looking at that. It should be the only way you consider a nepotism. You should recommend somebody or employ somebody in the same place. No,
that's what the rule says.
No,
no.
I mean the war in general. I'm not looking at that code of conduct. Okay.
Oh, you don't want to go by the Constitution again?
Listen, I'm not looking. listen, I'm not looking at that code of conduct. I'm looking at the war in general, nepotism. That whole something that I get A, B, C, D, and E. Don't just read one part and then you say, oh, because the person they recommended or they appointed is not working directly in that identical person office, so it's not a code of conduct. No. You all know Prince Joseph or daughter is working in the government. Who do you think recommended Prince Joseph's daughter? Senator Moi or wife working to MPA. Who do you think recommend? Nancy, how many of you people know?
No, but again, Vasco, how do you get to a point to authenticate that he made recommendation?
Well, Nancy is glaring.
But it becomes assumption.
Nancy, the reason why these people capture these things, when you want to do a vetting process, bring people, bring neutral people to vet the people. And I know the person will not just have one person on their list. If you're doing a vetting process, there should be 3, 4, 5 persons. Look at the various credentials. All the people that are appointed in those places. You ever heard about any vetting process that they don't know do the vetting? And why see the people all in the places? They just talk their people and put them there. And that is why the people capturing. You may look at it today, but those things that the people put in our stuff, and this is a global something. At this early stage of your government, they shouldn't be coming up with that kind of a thing against you. It will show a bad signal out there for people that want to come to your country to invest.
Yeah, and we're about to move to Charles, but Vasco, you may be right, because CENTAR is not just any fly by night organization.
Okay.
This is the local chapter of Transparency International. They are documenting things on Liberia about this government, like they did with previous administrations. But again, Vasco, CENTAR is not free of shortcomings as well, and that's why it's important to critique these reports, because CENTAR does not present law and gospel. What CENTAR says, right, findings that she comes with, should be critiqued. We should go through this document and find the loopholes and look CENTAR in the eye and say, the other thing you talk about our country, that lie, or they want not true. But let's go to Charles.
It is true. Let me end that.
That's cool.
It is true that we have to look at the report and say where there is truth and where there is lie. But Nancy, look at that identical report. Those people, they didn't just come out with this thing. They did their background investigation. They checked before coming out, because when these people speak, they know that this identical thing that we talking about here tonight, this thing it will go on international platform.
Thank you.
People look at the government at this area. This is what this man doing with all the things he said. I think Liberia is going.
Thank you, Vasco.
A very terrible path.
Charles, you can go ahead. Let's hear.
Small, my brother.
Thank you again. Thank you for being here this evening. Let me say thank you to our viewers, people that come on this platform, spend their own time to analyze things that we see up here. And I also want to thank my panelists. Thank you here, Vasco and my own sister Ami. And that's a very big thank you to you taking your time, brother. You're doing an extremely good job. But again, to the issue, I want us to understand a few things. And like I said yesterday, we should get rid of politics into national issues, into country issues. We are putting our country first instead of putting politics or party first. At this point, the report, I personally, and I'm going to say this, I personally have few issues with it. And my issues that I have with it is that we need to be precise and exact. Nepotism is the word that we are all discussing here today. Nepotism not just only family members. That's one thing people should get on to, that we should get it clear. It's not just about family members, even your friends. You as a public servant having a position and giving or talking for somebody who is associating with you is also a nepotism. But then let us backtrack. I am my brother Vasco talking, right? Let us look at politics in general in Liberia, how we come about getting our officials. It's a tradition and custom in our society that political parties have people that support them, that canvass for them, that do things for them. And some of those people are qualified according to the Constitution, according to our organic law. They are qualified to hold position. They are Liberians like us. And so if this person helped me, supported me, and I get to the position and I feel that this man can go to Ministry of Labor, okay, he qualified for it. He's a Liberian. Why? Why shouldn't I give it to him? Why shouldn't I give it to him? It's not just this government issues. It happened in past government. Even during Eddie Johnson Sally, it happened. The Joria men that we're talking about, that Vasco is canvassing for, it happened with him. When Joria won the presidency, when he was appointing people, he didn't appoint Mo Ali. He didn't appoint Amos Stewart. You know what I'm saying? So these people are people that know what they're doing. They were in the struggle with this political party and they appointed them.
But Charles, in that case, what happens to people who are not in the struggle but are equally Liberians? And that's another thing that this report is capturing.
So
the report is saying that over 57% of the people who have been appointed so far are from Bunk, Nimba, and Lofa. And they went on to say that those were the counties where people came from in their majority and supported this administration. But aside from that, some of the people who did not support the administration are being denied jobs.
So, Nelson, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let us put it in reality. Let us not just look at it the way the report is presenting it. Let us put it in reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at past government, we understand that majority, if it is not 50%, it will be at least 40% people that was appointed in the government were people that were from the same Bon County, that are people from Grand Cru, that are people from the southeastern region. And those are the people that supported the CDC-led government hugely, immensely. And those are people that the president felt that could deliver the country. There are people that the president felt that could bring change that the country needed at the time. Today, we are with JMB. JMB is saying, okay, these people supported me. This man is qualified. He's a Liberian. And I believe he will work with me to bring this change. Why can't I give him a job? Another thing you must take into consideration on Nelson. The thing about it, that's why I said a report, I personally see some part of it is good and some part of it is not good. Because here's the thing. Liberia is a tradition. Like I said, it's a tradition that when you support this person wins, they must give you something. Right?
They must give you something. Okay.
They must give you something. At the end of the day, if you didn't support me, or if you didn't support me, right, and I win the position, and I come and say, okay, let's, for example, Jefferson Kochi right now. If JMB goes and gets Jefferson Kochi job, what do you think going to come out?
But again, Charles, someone may say that tradition, culture, norms, and all those things you're talking about, sometimes doesn't mean that is a normal thing. It's a norm. Almost everybody doing it doesn't make it to be right.
It's not right.
Especially when you have a law that says this and that should not be done. It's a law.
So
the reason why you have the law is for the norm to be shaped a certain way. Maybe everybody are going left, for everybody to start going right. So don't everybody used to going left, but because you have this law, the law demands that everybody should start going right. I mean, and that should be the new normal or whatever. But at the end of the day, we want you to just take 30 seconds to conclude.
So the thing,
and then we have to make the transition.
The thing you're right now saying, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Our politicians, our mentality in Liberia is that if this man didn't support me, I went and appoint this man in a public office. He might not do what I want him to do. That will bring change to the country. Like JMB right now. If JMB go and appoint somebody who didn't support him, and at the end of the day, he want that person to do a particular job. And if that person is not delivering on that job, what do you think is going to happen? Going to be the
you can fire and hire. You can fire the mayor at any time and hire another person.
So before then, if he has somebody who is qualified for that position, why can't he just get rid of him, the person that supported him? And that, let me tell you something, right? It's not right. In no sense, it's right.
Okay, it's not right. But you are pushing that line, Charles. You are pushing that line. You know it's not right, and you own this platform, and you are supporting something that is not right. Charles,
no, I'm not supporting it.
It's not right. That's the right thing to do.
No, that's like I said.
Do we stand?
Nothing like I said. It is not right, but it has been a tradition in our democratic process.
Okay.
It has been a tradition in our democratic process that the fact that you didn't support me. If I win,
I will not get you a job.
I'm not going to get you a job. And that mentality needs to change.
But Charles, are you really helping this situation? I mean, at some point, you and Emmy were trying to fix things at the same level, but it's like you anyway.
But nothing. I'm just being honest to the platform. I just being honest to the discussion.
Thank you, Charles.
I just being honest to the discussion.
Thank you, Emmy. I see your hand up. You want to take 20 seconds quickly?
Yes. I see you mentioning that just because something is not something is a tradition or norms doesn't make it right? I agree. But Senta is saying so percent come from that area, not just Lofa.
57%.
Not just Lofa. We have country. I mean, state. I mean, what it is? Counties that he named, that he named, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Bong,
just
Nimba, and Lofa.
Unless you're telling me that Bong, Nima, and Lofa should not have anybody appointed from there, then you can tell me it's wrong. And the other counties too, they have people that was appointed from there. Does the Constitution say how many should be appointed from a county?
No, not at all.
So what's the problem?
Okay.
We have people from those other counties appointed as well. And when we're talking about nepotism here, I'm going by what the Constitution consider nepotism. Okay, the law of the land is what I'm looking at. If the Constitution, like when I would consider saying that, oh, I can appoint my nephew. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But if the Constitution says something wrong with that, that's what I have to follow, right? Or if I say, oh, I can't appoint my nephew. And if the Constitution says, yes, it's okay for you to appoint your nephew, I don't see anything wrong with me doing it. So, Nelson come here, I'm talking about that paper. I'm talking about me. What his name? Vasco talking about, he talking about the paper. He talking about in real, and he talking about the paper. That paper, couple of months ago, when they came out and were talking about the Lo-Fi road and talking about roads in the country that had been built as what JMB did, he was the same one saying that those people were lying. Those people were doing this and those people were doing that. Today, they're talking about something negative. He want to capitalize on that because it's always like my brother Charles said, with Vasco, it's never about country and never about being fair. Like, them if you do, them if you don't. I don't care if JMB go and pave his village people road, goal set. Vasco will come in and say that don't go not shining right. He will come in and find some fault on it, and which is sad. So yes, we should be going by what the law of the land says. Is the wrong thing? and it's a good thing. Not what we feel as in our personal feelings and stuff. Because I could be biased because I don't like somebody, but they may be doing it. They may not be doing anything wrong according to the law. So
Thank you.
why would we want to be going by our own personal feelings instead of what the laws is saying?
Thank you, Emmy. We are about to make a transition on this one. But Vasco, I saw your hand up.
You're muted.
You're mute. Can you unmute?
The question going to Army. So Army, in
Yes,
that
sir.
report, the people said the government, they have noticed there is nepotism in this government. But you're arguing. So according to what Nelson read, do you think the report lying? There is not nepotism in your
No, I know you want to ask any question. I know you want to ask any
I
question.
wouldn't say the line. I would say that,
but it's there, right?
But
no, it's
Vasco,
not there.
Vasco, at the end of the day, a lot of people are asking the question as to whether Vasco really mean it when he's speaking against nepotism at this point, as to whether
Exactly.
Vasco really mean it. Vasco,
Really mean it for
your
sure.
government you supported, Vasco,
Mm-hmm.
got the worst report from this very center.
On
Damaging
nepotism,
report about corruption. I mean, massive corruption and everything, that happened. But Vasco, let's go back since you're talking about this nepotism thing. Where do you stand?
Really? Is that a trick question?
No, I'm coming. The people who work in the executive work at the will and pleasure of the president.
mm-hmm.
The president decides who to appoint, who not to appoint. So Vasco, if let's assume President George Weah is president. Okay, let's assume you, Vasco, you're president.
Yeah.
You decided you want to appoint maybe your relative who is very qualified. Given that you have the constitutional authority to appoint, you don't gotta go vet people all around the place and all the kind of thing. You can look at somebody and think that the person can do the work based on what they brought to you. You appoint the person. You are president. You have the power to appoint. Vasco.
Yeah.
Would that be considered nepotism?
Definitely.
Why should we consider nepotism when you have the constitutional authority to appoint?
If you have the constitutional authority to appoint, one thing you should look at, this is a whole country. It is not just your family member who is qualified for that position. We understand you got the power to appoint. But when you want a transparent government and you want your government, for people to see your government also to be a very unique government, if you have certain position, look, open a position. Find your team, your vetting team. Let your relative go there with his or her credential. And let all 4 or 5 persons that qualify for that identical position go there and vet them. And not because of your relative, so we mean only your relative in the whole country qualify for that one job. So
Thank you.
When you do that now, then they look at you, they will say this is nepotism. Because whole country Liberia will not just be only your relative who is qualified for said position.
Thank you, Vasco.
So you're depriving hundreds of Liberians who are qualified that want to go and serve that position. You're depriving them.
Thank you.
Okay, so Nelson, please, 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds.
That's it. Nothing else.
I said Nelson, I said you. So listen, Vasco, why would we want to be wasting our time? You just said your nephew will qualify, and then you go do a vetting, bring all other qualified Liberians. Really? You will leave your
So why you hating all people here for Vasco when you know
you
your
will
nephew
leave your nephew there.
your
Your
nephew
nephew is
done that?
qualified. There's nothing wrong with it for you to hire him, but you will leave him there and waste other people's time just to bring them back for bringing them
If
sick.
you do that now, if you do that, then that
So
nepotism.
Vasco got a transition. You know Vasco?
If
You
you
just
do
killed.
that nepotism.
Listen, Vasco, all the argument you push on this topic from the beginning, you just kill everything.
It's
No,
blind.
You just brought your building down to zero. You're
No,
about to
Nelson,
start building foundation.
Nelson, when you
to-
said
Nelson,
Vasco Street, in case you did not
Vasco.
President News team, must have gone from
Vasco,
there.
Vasco, like I said, politics
Kabak,
is,
you
is
want
a
to tell me Jake
tradition.
Kabakori is the only qualified person for the position of Baka
He's
game?
qualified. He's qualified. Okay, but let's go to our
He's
next
not.
topic. Then. Vasco, something you've been talking about a lot. You've raised this issue every time we're talking. You mention this particular issue. Something which President George Weah did not do. He tried hard, but he didn't make it. He fought very hard. People are advancing. He said, "Yeah, I will take your advance." You yourself are here. You advancing. You hold saying all for him. He said, "Papi, let's say I'm holding it so you can make your asset public." He agreed, but he didn't do it. Vasco, today President Boakai finally declared his asset, and maybe we
Say
should
he
put
made it public. He been declared.
All right,
Say
yeah, I keep
public.
saying
Yeah.
declared.
It
He
was
declared his
declared.
asset initially in February, but he made his asset public. And this is the asset of the current president of the
Good
Republic
job,
of
JB.
Nigeria. This is how much President Boakai worth. This is where we are. He has authorized the LCC to publish his asset. Maybe tomorrow you go, you buy a newspaper, you see the asset all in the newspaper. You put your Facebook on, your internet on, you will see the asset everywhere. It's floating all in the market building. Everybody get it. They know how much President Boakai worth. Vasco, let's hear your take on this issue. Is it fair to give it up to the president at this point? To say kudos. Thanks a job well done, President Boakai. You've made Liberia proud. Let's hear you.
Anything that is not done properly is not done at all.
I told you.
Come on, let's mute, guys. Let's mute and give Vasco his.
But I mean, wait a minute, though. Okay, anything that is not done properly is not done at all.
Mhm.
You saw the Senegalese president when he took office. He didn't wait to get paid. He declared asset. So that asset of President Boakai declared, that's a fake asset. Fake.
When you say fake, what do you mean?
Look, the president of the country, and
Mhm.
people taking office, your assets should be declared. We want to know what you coming with in the office. Now you have come. You have taken money from all over the place, putting it in your account for almost 6 months, taking pay, government money, all the kickbacks coming, getting all the properties. Then you come now to us and telling us, hey, this is my assets. After you told us, we the Liberian people, that you are living on loan.
But there's still a loan component there, though. You want us to go to that segment of the asset, the
I
the
saw the thing
funds.
today, Nancy, and I will not waste my time to go look at it. I will not waste my time because you already not can, you have accumulated a lot of money.
So this is it. Person indebtedness or liability. 201,500 USD. The president, so it means that the president still gets some loan and money he need to pay back. So it's there. It's part of the asset that the president declared. Vasco, do you see that portion?
Nancy, if the president was serious,
The
he
president
was-
makes $13,447 as gross salary annually. Other income,
Nancy, this
other income,
This is-
15,000.
Nancy, this is blatant.
Income from co-ownership properties, 18,000.
You
The
know what made
president
it,
declared his
you,
asset.
you
Vasco.
know what made it asset? It ain't making any sense to we that bring people. President Bogers was going to break record. He was going to break record if upon taking office, that very day when he took that oath of office, the next day, he declared asset and public his asset. I will never consider on the show. I will clap for him and I will say, thank you. You made history. Why you not going? You not work for almost 6 months? You getting money from all over the place. Then you tell us money can tell us that the money akin to the presidency will. Who will believe that?
Okay. Wait, Vasco, wait.
Yeah.
Let's correct some things here. Then we're gonna move to Emmy and Chaz,
okay.
right? So the first thing to consider here is that the president declared his asset in February.
Yeah.
2 weeks after he took power.
Yeah.
So I know at some point people will pull up the argument that, look, people should declare their asset even before they take office. That way, you present a clearer picture as to how transparent you want to be. You're not there yet, but you tell us how much you got. But he was there in February, he declared his asset. Granted. So that was just about 2 weeks after his ascendancy.
Yes.
So the same asset the president declared to the LACC in February. And the same asset he gave the authorization to the LACC to publish. So that is why today is not saying that president declared his asset. No. He authorized the LACC today to publish the asset that he already declared in February. I just hope.
This man is the president of the country. He got control over everybody. If that man are not hiding something from us, if the president are not hiding something from us, when he took office 2 weeks, he ain't got no pay yet. That asset he declared with LACC, you're going to tell us, look, I have nothing to hide, you publish your asset. But you waited for almost 6 months. Then you can't declare something to us. Who know that overnight your people will go take that sheet, or if they ain't gonna go to LACC to take the sheet for that. They'll get a sheet, they say that they just write that thing inside and give it back. They say now with the pressure on, you just put it one in the public and put it. Next thing, they never did it. The president will not take no credit for this. He was going to take the credit when he just took office and get up the day he declared asset, although it was late. LACC should publish the asset. We doing it now. What a credit will give you.
Thank you.
You
Thank
not
you,
take pay over how many times? All the money you not take from government, you put everything on your asset.
Thank you. Now let's hear from you.
Let me end. They found
Vasco, your time is up.
They found the president had nothing on that fund, but the president was declaring coward and all today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Coward, chicken, and all declared.
So what was the last time you were on the farm to know that nothing?
Yeah, exactly.
How many times? No, nothing. I never.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you very much.
Buying cow and put it and declare.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, Emmy, and then we're gonna move to Chad.
So Nelson, you see why people don't just hire people just because you're a Liberian. Vasco is a Liberian. Listen to the thing that he hurting the people in the comment section here with. Okay? You don't just go, from what I understood when we started beating President Walker up here about publishing his asset. We were told that you don't just go publish the asset and they just declare the asset and they just go the next day and just publish it. They have to investigate. They have to
verify.
To verify, to do everything before they publish it. At least Vasco telling us here that you can just go and tell people to give you a paper. We saw the assets of something from George Weah that his shoe was worth $20 million, his watch was $22 million. Somebody that was looking like he was hungry. And people that knew him at the time said, even in his non-street Congo that he had, that he called house, the toilet wasn't even flushing well. But after
Come
he
on,
left
come on.
office,
Oh, come on, man. I mean,
no. Nelson, let me tell my own. After
this
he
man
left
was
office,
a
we seen
star.
the
How is
access
it possible, man?
declaration.
I mean, all politics aside, all
I'm not
politics
playing
aside.
politics. I'm telling you what people
Yeah,
like
you know,
Josh Weah said. I'm not playing politics. I wasn't there. I did not go in his house. People who know him, what they said about that house is what I'm telling you. Okay? This man, after he left office, the answers were not even published. It had to be what? It leaked, right? So we seen that he talking about his watch was $20 million, his shoe was $40 million. Who? Let me put pictures out here.
Let's go to President Blackeye because
Yes,
President George Weah is in the past. He's no longer president. I remember when this asset declaration came to President George Weah, he said unclear. He said he has children, and for security reason, for the future of his children, and for his own security, he claimed he can't declare asset. He can't, sorry, not declare, but he can't publish his asset. That's what he said.
What does publishing your assets has to do with?
So we already passed that one now. But Emmy,
okay, so no, because when people
give
come
it to the
here
president, is it fair to give it to the
nonsense,
president?
you have to correct them.
No, but Emmy,
I said nonsense.
every single view on this platform makes sense. It may not be what we agree with, but it makes sense.
Let me give my view.
I mean,
I'm not saying the view
don't
doesn't make sense, but when somebody's lying about something, you have to call them out on it.
your feeding on.
Okay?
Yeah, you may disagree with Vasco, Emmy.
And that's what I'm doing, but you will not let me. Let me disagree with him. Don't be stopping me.
No, but again, there's a question here, Emmy.
No, let me just stop if you don't want me to talk.
No.
About letting people view does not mean you should let people to just come out here and spew nonsense. And I will say it again. All reaction, all supporter, all bootlicker to come here and be sharing something and tell you say you lying when they don't even know what they're talking about. You can't allow other people views. I'm not saying Vasco shouldn't spill here, Tabata, but I have the right to check him. If you been a hypocrite.
Check Vasco. Thank
you. And please don't stop me again. So, like we said, it has to be verified before published. And I also told you, even if JB go and pay Vasco Village Road gold, he will still come here and find fault with it, which is very, very disgusting and sad. Because this is where charge was coming from. Be a Liberian for once and say something if it's right and say something if it's wrong. Okay? This man did something that the guy you support that you lick everything he does. He never did. So why would you come here? You say, oh, he not take all the money and put it in there. He ain't got no chicken on his farm. He put chicken. He ain't got cow. He put cow.
But Emmy, talking about this declaration, this is something that a lot of people would think is long overdue.
Wish I get it.
You declared in February. You wait until February. From February, I wish more said March, until March, that good English. Until March, until April, until May, until June.
4 months.
And you know that the verification process, Emmy, does not take 4 months. It won't take you a month.
I don't know. All this
so again, that's where a lot of people come from when they say that this is belated. I mean, what can you say about that, Emmy?
Let the LSCC come tell me that it's belated. Not some party here telling me that. Let them come tell me, say, we had a verification done ever since, and he stopped us from publishing it. I don't know how that something work, and this is what it said. Do you have to go through the processes before they publish it? I don't know which one they ever publish an assets that we will say, oh, the other person went through this so and so length of time. How come his own had to take their long time when the other person did it in a short period of time? Who do we have to set example from? We don't have anybody. Do we? Charles, help me out here. Do we have any president that did it in a short period of time?
President Sirleaf declared the asset and made it public.
When?
President Sirleaf did. President Sirleaf
she did that?
No, it wasn't right away. But the point I'm making is she did. So I mean, You can take 30 seconds to conclude, Emmy. Then we'll go to Charles.
Even though
Yeah.
you're editing my time a lot, but I will try. Okay? So, because you already have to babysit Vasco, but you can babysit other people here. Anyways, like I was saying, we all came here and beat on President Boakai for now declaring his publishing his asset. We all talk about it here. We beat on it, and we told him we asked him, not told him, but asked him to do it or whatever if he was holding it up. And like I said, everything that is said, it had to be verified. It had to be this had to be done, and that had to be done for it to be published. And that's what I think is done. Wasn't that asset that looked so strange that looked like somebody went and took all the money from the bank that was never there, that they didn't mean that at all, and they put it on there. There's nothing on there. The fact that he makes it public, we should appreciate that. Whether it be later or not, I don't know what length it had to take. So I would not speak to that, but we wanted it to be published, and that's what it is now. So
Thank you.
I don't have
Thank you,
anything
Emmy.
wrong with that.
Charles, you want to?
Before Charles can I?
Yeah, let me.
Okay, let's give Vasco 20
Vasco,
seconds.
go ahead,
20
Vasco.
seconds. Yeah.
You see, look, this show is all about us giving our view how we see things. For you will see President Boakai declaring an asset now to be a good thing for you. But for me, it's belated. I cannot give him credit.
Thank you.
That's my own. So
Thank you.
accept my own.
Okay, all right, Vasco, understand
Thank you.
that.
Okay,
And-
yeah.
And Nelson, let me say this,
Oh,
right?
oh,
This
yeah.
platform, we all are entitled to our opinions, whether it is right or wrong, and that's the reason why we are here to critique ourselves. And the public, they are listening to us. The public going to make their judgment based on who is saying what is in the interest of the country. So when we come to the assets declaration or the assets publishing, like to publish the assets, the president published his assets. He declared his assets in February,
Yeah, but he published the asset today.
and he published his assets today.
Give authorization. Yeah.
I personally want to say, from a patriotic standpoint, I want to commend the president for that. I want to commend him for that. I want to tell him thank you for doing the right thing at this time. But my question now is, this assets that he published, is it honest? And then I would say no. I personally would say
I mean, agrees with you that it's not honest.
No. I said he has a point. If he says that, he can.
Yeah.
You can say that.
So I want to say, we have to applaud him.
What's your issue? Where do you come from when you talk about dishonesty with the asset that's been
There you go. You see, I personally have few questions when it comes to the assets that he declared or that he published. One, he's our president. If you are indebted to a particular institution, there should be a way in the assets declaration or the asset publication. When you publish, we should know which one of the bank, which one of the individual, the entity, who are you indebted to? You are our president. You're not just an ordinary man anymore. So we should know that today, tomorrow, if the country want to pay that person back, or it can be a philanthropist, it can be a humanitarian. They say, okay, you know what, since the president is holding this, I want to pay back. But who can I pay to?
No, you go and ask him, he will tell you who to pay to.
No, but it should be in it. We shouldn't be going to him. We are Liberians. We want to know. So it should be in the declaration. Another point, another issue that I have with the publish of his assets. Another point that I have in his document, I see 600,000 plus for properties. Those properties was not listed. It was not listed to say, oh, okay, I got a house in rehab that cost this. I got a house.
But I want us to go to something here.
Okay.
I want us to go to something here. all obligations, right? So there's a portion here. Let me take the next page. Let me see if I can get the next page here. Okay, is this it? Well, the font size is so small to a point where I'm
know.
yeah,
Really
I
see it.
No.
kind of struggle to get something here. But there's a portion that has to do with his the value of his home.
Mhm.
Okay, so giving any information you may consider relevant, blah blah blah. So these are 2 lots of land near the old slaughterhouse.
No address.
No.
That's a Sally.
Nelson,
As far as as part of the asset, right? The president has 2 lots near the old slaughterhouse.
Nelson.
All right, and then no, we ain't there yet. There's
Okay.
somewhere here where it talks about the value of his house, his rehab resident,
Mhm.
the value of the rehab resident, and that's the slides I want to put up.
Yeah,
Let
please
me
do
hope,
that.
let me hope this is it.
Oh,
All right.
Mhm.
So okay, so real properties, commercial properties, 94,300 blah 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 USD. Residential properties, 672,000
Mhm.
USD. It got some dollars behind it. And the vehicles, 100. Yeah, the person who wrote these figures must have
Did he
been
write this? Or someone else did?
Nelson.
He got a bad penmanship.
Nelson.
maybe
This
that's a political penmanship, but go ahead.
Nelson,
that?
Like I said, my being on this platform is to just be real to the issues. And I will say the right thing when JMB does the right thing, and I will say the wrong thing when he goes wrong. I personally believe declaring making his asset public. We welcome that. We clap for him. We applaud him for that. I appreciate that. But if the assets that he published is honest, I personally say no.
Thank you.
And so with that, I also want to believe the pressure from the public made our president with people around him to forcibly bring these issues out to the public.
But again, let's do this.
Because that
You need to explain public pressure. Because Charles, the first thing here is the president spoke about asset declaration even before he took office.
Okay, so then he's supposed to be the.
He said he was going to not declaration, but public. He said he was going to make it public. There's a famous interview he had with the VOA. We play that here most times. He said it on the interview again. He re-emphasized that he would have not just declared his asset, but made his asset public. He said it.
Okay, so Nelson, here's the thing: if you are you the president. Like my brother Vasco said, you the president. If I declare my assets in February, right, like 2 weeks after, I declare my assets. The day I'm declaring my assets, I should also be publishing my assets. That's how it should be. And because you will do that, we force other people that are behind.
No, but again, you can't declare the same day you can't publish the same day you declared, because there will have to be a verification process.
No, so then why are you waiting for?
Maybe
Nelson, wait. The verification process, you and Messiah know that it's not going to take 4 months. Come on now.
No.
Okay. It's not going to be even a month.
Not even a month.
Exactly. So if the time you take in that 2 weeks period, the entity or the individual that you use to prepare the assets that you have to submit, Why those people didn't go and just do all of the background investigation to come up with it the same day? If you want to be as transparent as possible. And so at that point, that's where my issues come. That the access declaration and the issue about publishing it at this point, I personally say is not honest to our people.
But you want to give it up to the president. You want to give it up to him.
Exactly. I want to tell him
thank you. Public is asset. Right?
Yes, I want to tell him thank you for doing the right thing, the constitutional things. I want to tell him thank you for doing that. I applaud him for that. I appreciate him coming up to at least publish his asset. But it's a timely. I have issues with it because of the way the assets were declared or the assets were published.
You're right. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for that.
Next, I take the Senegalese president asset declaration to your messenger. That's why you call local acting. Just look at it. They may get a big meaning there, everything.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Look at it. That's why I can't get all the ratings and I clear. Just you know, force it to post it up.
That's good. You got issue. Let me tell you right now. Listen, Nancy, can I have my 20 seconds?
So Nancy, I want to know.
We want.
How many?
You know I get Vasco the floor. He talking.
We want to go to the phone lines because we out of time. But I mean, take 20 seconds and we'll go to the phone lines. Vasco, I don't sell cow. I don't know the value of cow.
How many cow?
I've never bought cow.
How many cow? How many dollars you pay for it?
Come on, Vasco.
No,
Emmy, please take your 20 seconds. We're going to the phone lines.
Okay, so with what Charles was saying, that the access declaration is not honest. I wouldn't want to. I don't know why he came up with that assumption, because you can say it missing something, but to say it wasn't honest, I don't understand that. But if you, I don't know if on the forms do they have those lines I said which bank you owe, or which do they have all those lines that he had to fill out and put there and he never filled it in? Then it's a problem. But you can just say, because he didn't put it on there. Was that space available? Because you fill it out form. If I'm filling out something that what they ask for is what I'm putting there. If you don't ask for it, then I don't see where is the problem for you to say, it's not honest. Or
Thank
whatever.
you.
You can say, it missing for it to not be honest. I don't.
I mean, let me say right. Let me
say
this.
5101075.
I personally am not against JMB at all.
055101075 is the number
is doing his thing and he's supposed to
and
do.
that we have.
It's just that the people that is around him is making.
No, you can have problem with JMB.
The people that are around him, and those are things. There's nothing
wrong with having problem with JMB.
We have to go to the
I can have problem with JMB.
If JMB go wrong, I would definitely tell him go wrong. And if he go the right way, I'll tell him that he go the right way. But for this,
let's take some calls. 0555101.
I personally believe that access is not honest to the Liberian people.
Let's take our first call here. Hello.
Hello.
Excuse you guys.
Hello. Okay, Vasco. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Go ahead quickly. You're live.
Yeah, I'm Osman Arkuch. I'm calling from Providence.
Yeah. Let's.
First, I want to say thanks to the president for making an asset public. And I want to speak to your two male panel. I don't know them that are referring to now.
Vasco and Charles.
Okay. Yeah. So that there are a few things we need to get straight. The asset that was published today is the same asset that was declared 2 weeks after the president's inauguration. Therefore, those assets were assets that before he took power, those are things that he had. Number 2, the forms will not indicate who you owe your liabilities. The form will not indicate, there's no space on the form to indicate who you owe. Number 3, we should be grateful to the president for making his asset public. It has to go through processes. He would fill in a form, his lawyer will fill, so it would take time. So if he do it within 4 months' time, for me, I don't see how something bad.
Thank you.
What does they mean by the answer is not real.
Thank you.
What is
Thank you. Let's hold you there and take the next person. We'll take just 3 more calls and then we'll wrap up. Hello, please go ahead quickly.
hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
This is Baker calling from Amagachi community.
Go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Okay, in the first place, I will highly appreciate and commend President Buhari for publishing his assets today. And let me tell you this, Claire. Buhari assets that he published today is the one that was declared just 2 weeks after inaugurations. And within the 2 weeks after inaugurations, I don't think Buhari ever was able to accumulate any money from anywhere within the 2 weeks and add it to his
Thank you.
assets.
Thank you very much.
It would be a disservice to Buhari if you say add everything there.
Thank you very much. Let's hold you there and take this person. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
I'm Chalasi from community.
Jefferson, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I want to appreciate you guys for the step on the discussion. But the president told us that there is no business as usual. So that he answered the thing, it is matter. But then get the point, they only like discussing new protection. And this new protection is actually to do what the report actually on. It's not just new protection, but report discussion he in his speech. The money is 700,000 in which he used. People also discuss it. They say it's a conversion. So they're discussing new protection, what I said, and
Sentasa is corruption. Yeah,
yeah, the
government has been corrupt as well. But thank you. We appreciate your input. Let's take the last call, then we go. Hello.
Good evening,
Yes,
this
sir.
is someone calling from New Georgia Gulf.
Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
So the two gentlemen there, they say who come with cleverness, this is how they can behave. To say you go and take the money and put it there because the man is a president. That's being dishonest on their part. Even if people are to evaluate them as they're sitting in a studio, people can't trust them because the same way thinking about President Buhari taking money from his salary or from somewhere else, putting it on his asset, the hard will be doing in some offices. That's just dishonest.
Thank you.
To treat me like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's take the final call here. Hello. You're live.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
No. Your line is terrible. Hello?
Yeah, I think I'm working as Simon, New Georgia.
Okay, go ahead.
As pertaining to your show tonight, concerning the president's declaration of his assets, the leader in the state saying that there's a form that I was said in. If you declare your asset to me, I think it's similar presenting your resume and you know how to write.
Yeah, you know your own format and whatever you want to use.
Okay. So you're not going to send your form, so you can't give a buck. So you can say, I got 10,000, I got 10,000 cards, I call this, and you ask the master, they ask him. So I think it's even later, and for me, it's not accepted to me because it's not clear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for your input. Well, I wish we had the luxury of time, but we're seriously out of time. I think we can do our closing now.
No, this is a great topic. People wanted to call in.
Yeah, hopefully.
I know
That, but today we're out of time. We're seriously out of time. Yeah. Charles, you can do your closing and then Emmy will take us on.
And again, to our
Is it Vasco ran away?
No.
He want you to tell you to call. You think he's sneaky. You come here, you're not closing.
To our people on this live, and let me just say this clear.
Trick.
Our country is in a dark days that we pray and hope, and we want JMB to do the rightful things to change the society, to change our people lives. But as it relates to his assets, the publishing of his assets, I personally stand with my opinion. I applaud him for that because he did the right thing. He did the constitutional thing by publishing his assets.
Yeah, but even by law, it's not required for you to publish. You can declare, but you're not forced to publish.
Exactly. So by even going that far, he did extremely well. So we must applaud him for that. Personally, if the access that was published is honest to the Liberian people, like I said, I personally just don't want to believe that.
Okay.
I just don't want to believe that. And I don't have anything against GMB. And I believe he's our president. And I know he's going to do the right thing. I have nothing against him. But I just feel that the assets that were published, I don't think is honest to the Liberian people. That's it.
Thank you very much. Let's take Emmy. Emmy, go ahead.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you. And thank you to everyone. For people that just come here and want to talk and think that, always want to think that people, they know what someone is saying and what they are saying. If they could hear me saying whenever Nelson and myself was going at something he was saying about accepting people's views, Roscoe was out of the picture at the time. So y'all who want to be in your feelings and want to make it an issue, good luck to y'all. But yeah, on the discussion, this entire report, right? Now saying I think for whatever reason they had to do it is a good thing. And but I agree with 2 Point with the whole delay and controversy and stuff like that. But the part that about the nepotism, I think they're in error, because if you doing reports like this, I think you should be going by the country, constitution, what is wrong and what is not right. Then you can go ahead and base that report on that. But if they're telling us about just the definition of nepotism and in the Constitution, what the person is doing is not wrong, then I think they're in error to just put that out and just make it say, oh, the person did something wrong. And for the assets declaration, I think the president did a great job. Okay. What I did is the time he declared his assets, like Lynn Lakwa said, the date on that assets is January 29. I don't know. He says that's what the date says on it. So if it's true or not, I don't know. He declared it then, and as he declared, he never went back to go change anything that we know of. It was there, and they said they had to verify, they had to do what they had to do, and we wanted to see it. So we said we wanted to see it. The public were putting, fire to it, and it's out now. To say, oh, he didn't put this on there, or he didn't put that on there. If the form, okay, because my brother that called and said, oh, you just have to put things on there, you know what? No, that's not how it works. If I'm filling out a form, I'm going by the question that is asked on that form. I'm not going to put anything on there that the form did not ask about. If the form did not ask me about, it doesn't make sense, but I'm filling out a form, okay? If they say anything else that needs to be something to this, that's a different thing. But if the form said name and address, then I go put name, I go put my son's name.
No, but the caller's point was, Emmy, the caller's point was, it's like you're preparing your resume. You decide the kind of format you want to use. You could put a column there for this, a column for that, or you decide to do it the other way around. It's you are the one preparing your stuff and taking it to the LACC. I
don't know how preparing resume in Liberia works, but here when I'm preparing resume, my resume asks me the question that they want me to, the information that they need from me. It's on the resume.
And there are different formats.
Now, if the information is wrong,
you want to use, you would decide.
That's not how. That's what I'm saying. The format. How will you tell me to use a format that I want to use, and you already got things lined up like you want me to give? I don't understand it. This is why I'm confused. So maybe they are right. I don't know, but I'm going by what I know. The form is there. It's asking. No, let me finish up. You keep me on something. You letting me to finish. And you want
because
if the form is asking me a question, that's the question I'm responding to. I think in any common sense, that's what it is. I'm not gonna put something on there that the form did not ask me to put on there. If the form said what all the value of your properties, that's what I'm gonna put there. Addresses of these properties, then I will put the addresses there. If I fail to put that address on there, then you can say, oh, maybe I'm in error or I'm being dishonest.
But Amy, if that is
Dishonesty would be putting something that
if that is something, if that is something to go by, then what about the area where the two lots, the location of the two lots are there?
Okay.
The slaughterhouse and everything is there.
Okay, so on that form, they said, what is that location of two lots? Or he just put it, he voluntarily put it there.
Okay. Thank you, Emmy.
So you see, Emmy?
You see my point?
Thanks.
That's what I'm saying. The question that is being asked on the paper is what you give me. So I don't think you're being fair with that discussion. And I'm not saying that because it's
we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back on this tomorrow. We'll come back on this. We're hoping that we can start early with this. But again, I want to say thanks to everyone, and thanks to our audience. Thanks to the folks in Radio Land. We look forward to being here tomorrow. But I don't know who wrote this prescription. Somebody went. I think that Vasco doctor wrote this prescription.
What is that?
Vasco went to the clinic. They gave him a tablet. They wrote on the tablet, take 2 in the morning before you wake up. Take 2 in the morning before. Look at the writing on the thing.
Before you wake up.
In the morning before you wake up.
You'll be sleeping
again. I want to say thanks to everyone. We look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, have a good night to everyone. And
thank you, guys.
Good night. She'll be back.
Right, thank you, Amy. Amy, you got my daughter Nemo.
I do.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Okay, so good night, guys, and
good night.
Bye-bye for now. We look forward to being here tomorrow.
Is Sasha turning something off? What do you mean, free?